Deb and Donna, we have a caller, one of your clients, Deb, that wanted to be with us today, but wanted to protect their confidentiality for their students' benefit, and they're joining us on the line now. Welcome to the show.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm so glad I'm able to call in and participate. I live in Jackson, so for my son's privacy, I thought it would be better to just call in and share my story.
Yes, tell us how you got involved with Deb and Access Education and your particular circumstance.
Okay, well, in 5th grade, my son was struggling with organization and keeping track of assignments. 2 of his teachers had filled out assessment forms that determined my child had attention deficit disorder, yet when I met with the principal, I was informed that he didn't qualify for any educational support. So, frustrated with the situation, but feeling like I had explored the avenues, we continued on. He struggled through middle school with mediocre grades, but by 9th grade he was failing Algebra 1 and had been labeled as lazy. His self-confidence was in the toilet. So when I started searching the internet looking for an attorney who specialized in education and disability rights, I found Deborah Blake. And just like Donna said, upon reading her qualifications and then talking to her on the phone, which I also was connected directly to Deb, which is so rare these days that you call and actually reach the person. But I learned right away that 1, she was highly qualified, and 2, she was very passionate about helping kids. And I got to tell you, as soon as she sent a letter to the school district informing them that she was representing us as an educational advocate, it was like a whole new day had dawned. They finally were paying attention. She could speak the language. She knew what testing to request. She went to the school and observed my child in his classroom so he could actually see what was going on in different classrooms. And once they knew that she meant business, she was really able to foster the sense of collaboration within the school district, and she guided me through the entire process. As you guys were just discussing, it took what was a very highly emotional situation, and she added the sense of calmness I could vent with her instead of venting at the table with the other members of the school district. And the end result was that my child did in fact qualify for an IEP, educational supports and accommodations. And now 18 months later, my son is passing Algebra 2 with an 87%. He's happier, he enjoys school, and his self-esteem is soaring. So if this story sounds familiar, call Education Access today.
All right, well, thanks for calling and providing us with your personal story. We appreciate that. Glad to hear your son's doing good.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's, I guess, sounds like perhaps a common situation, ADHD or even autism. There are so many different levels of autism that
it's a wide spectrum.
that must be a big part of it.
It is. And I mean, there are as many types of kids on the autism spectrum as there are types of kids. And the ADHD, I urge people to be really, really cautious, because ADHD or ADHD symptoms can very easily be symptomatic of something else that's going on, either a learning disability, sensory integration, processing. So you have to, again, as Sandra said, you have to be really careful about getting the right assessments, because it's real easy to say, oh, ADHD, put them on medication and we're all set. And you got to be real careful that you've got the right information, the right assessment, so that you're dealing with the right solutions.
Are there more choices today? Does that become, I guess, more of a challenge? Many years ago, people perhaps had just had a choice of mainstreaming or special ed, and that was it with certain...
Certainly under the American with Disabilities Act as well as IDEA, there are more choices. However, more recently, those choices are being affected by the economic situation. And that's unfortunate, but the reality of that becomes the squeaky wheel.
And for you, Donna, how is your student doing now?
Well, we're still in the process of trying to get him the support that he needs. But I can tell you that when I initially was going into the school and meeting with school leaders and the counselors and the social workers, trying to get Ethan, my son, Ethan, the support he needs. It was pretty intimidating and very emotional for me. And now that Deb usually comes with us, things are just easier. She has a rapport, she's developed a rapport with some of the folks around the table. Many times when I'm feeling either usually emotional about a particular situation, she can be my voice. I mean, we talk a lot. She is very accessible and understands where my son is and sort of what his challenges are. And so she's been, the role of advocate, I think, is a really necessary benefit resource for parents, and it's made a huge difference. I don't know what the outcome of this process is going to be. It's been going on for a little while, but I know that I have brought sort of one of the best advocates, as well as sort of this as a resource to the table, and I don't know what else we can do. But my hope is that, you know, the outcome will be what we hope it will be for my son.
I would imagine that when you do affect a happy situation at school, it carries into the home.
Absolutely, absolutely. To have a happy kid coming home, or just taking that education role out of the home and allowing the parents to be parents again is huge, because many times those education issues break down that parent-child relationship. And I just want to mention, it is a process. I can't turn things around tomorrow. I can put the fire out on a crisis tomorrow, but the process, you know, as the caller said, we were 18 months before we got resolution and got the right program. You've got to, you know, initiate it, get assessment, get the right professionals involved, and so forth. So it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight.
If someone wants to start that process, they should call you. And
or if they're in the middle of the process and it's not working, yeah, that's usually the way. They've tried it, they've done what they can, and it's just not working.
And how does somebody get a hold of you, Deb?
Well, there's an 888 number now, because they ran out of 800s. 888-834-4340. They can go on website, which is www.AccessEducationMI.com, and they can access me either through that website, or that gives additional information also.
And we also have that information here at JTV and on our website as well. And thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, glad to hear you're having success.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming in. From Access Education, the director, founder, Deb Blake, along with one of her clients, Donna Lartigue.